what's the difference between heaven and earth? Because I've learned of basically a different way of understanding it than I used to know, and I'll try to explain it. So the earth is where we live, and it's very physical and material and tangible, and we experience it with matter. And like, I'm driving on a road made of rocks or whatever, and that's the nature of this world. But the heavens are a spiritual place, a celestial place. The heavens are above the earth, all of the heavens and everything in them. So if we were going to talk about hell, where would hell be when we're talking about heaven and earth? Where would hell be? Would my assumption, and I'm sure your assumption, it seems right to say hell is beneath all of it. Hell is the very bottom, beneath heaven and earth. But that's not right, because hell is not a place that is physical and material and tangible in the same way that the earth is. Hell is a spiritual place, and it isn't beneath the earth. The reason why people think down to hell is because anytime that's talked about, it's talking about angels being cast down to hell. And that would be from the position of God. God cast them down to hell. Well, he's the Most High God. He's in the heavens. And what he did was he cast them to the very bottom of that realm. There's a place of darkness. And for us, that place of darkness is in the sky at night. And that's why we have nighttime. Because God divided the light from the darkness, and the day he called, or the light he called day, and the darkness he called night. So when we look up at the night sky, that darkness is part of the heavenly realm. It's the very bottom of it. So when fallen angels were cast down to hell, that's what that means. And another example of how that is, in my understanding, is when they take a rocket and they go sideways really fast. They've found a place that they can go that is in that darkness, and that place is a part of heaven. It's part of the firmament of heaven, where the sun, moon, and stars are. They just call it space, but it's actually darkness. And as modern science teaches, that place of darkness, everything that's ever been in that place of darkness that they call the solar system is free-falling. Some examples: the moons around Jupiter. Modern science will tell you that those moons are in a state of free fall around Jupiter, and Jupiter's in a state of free fall around the sun, and the Earth is in a state of free fall around the sun. You get what I'm saying? And our moon is in a state of free fall around the Earth. This is the bending and warping of space-time. This is it's junk science, but that's what the modern science will teach you. And so they think that they've found a place that they call a universe or a solar system, but what they've actually done is they've found out how to get into the very bottom part of the celestial realm, the very bottom of the heavenly realm. And So when people go down to Sheol, it's not below the earth. They're going to the very bottom of the spiritual realm, where spirits go and not flesh and blood. So in my understanding, the celestial realm, the spiritual realm, is above the earth, all of it. And I'm sure it's beneath the earth also, because there's waters above and below. Dark waters, darkness. We are there, between us and the heaven, between the earth and the heaven, there is a great abyss. And we've learned in this modern day part of these last days that place, they call it space, but that's not what it is. It is a bottomless pit. And so everything in that place, no matter what it is, a satellite or a spaceship, or when they went to the moon, they were in a state of free fall all the way to the moon. From the earth to the moon, they were falling. They fell from the earth to the moon, even though the moon's up in the sky. So do you see how this doesn't make much sense? The idea of space. Everything there is falling perpetually. The astronauts call it a bottomless pit of deep black darkness. And Judah agrees with them, and he said, the wandering stars, to whom is reserved the blackness of darkness forever. This place is a spiritual place, yet men have learned to climb into that place. And like in Isaiah 14, it says that Lucifer says in his heart, I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of God. Like the space station, think about that. But it says, but he will be brought down to the to hell, to the sides of the pit. So the sides of the pit is where space is. They go sideways to go there. They're not going up in the sky really high. They're going sideways to orbit the earth. So if we think about this clearly, it is that what men have figured out to do in this day and age is they have found or been given the key to that bottomless pit. And when we think of the first time that they went to the moon, they called it Apollo. I think we can understand the spirit of Apollyon at work in this world, and really confusing people, even the Christians. They are thinking that hell, a lot of them are thinking that hell is a place where your body goes or something when it goes into the earth, but that's not the case. Hell is a place where your spirit would go, or Sheol, I guess. There's places in Sheol for righteous and also for wicked to await judgment. So there you go. That's my thoughts on that. The celestial realm is above the earth. It includes the sky where the birds fly, and anything above that is the celestial realm. All the heavens and that darkness also. Have a good day.